Back in 1900, when the Portland Police was in the early stages of forming, they would go out and they would hire the guys with the biggest fists, the guys with the hardest heads. They had nicknames like Lockjaw, Bulldog, Moose, because they needed guys who could go into taverns and go into saloons and brothels and mix it up with some of the worst that we had in the community back then. That was then, this is now. The city of Portland has changed. We are a more sophisticated city. We're a city that understands itself better. Technology has changed. Everything in life has changed in Portland when it comes to how we protect ourselves and the threats that we need to protect ourselves from. One of the most important relationships that we've got in our city is the relationship the citizens of Portland have with the Portland Police. Do we really need a police department today that needs to fight? Do we always need a police officer to show up carrying a gun? Does every law enforcement person need to be trained in how to be a better public servant to people with mental illness and other mental challenges? Does every Portland police officer need to be trained in less aggressive means of conflict resolution? Right now, the way we train police officers is the way police officers are trained around the country. Basically, you don't do what they say, they've got the option of shooting you. These are the questions us as a community need to start asking ourselves. We need to start saying to ourselves, what do we want our children 20 years from now? What kind of relationship do we want them to have with the Portland Police? I ask that you support my candidacy so that if I get on City Council, we can work together to create this visioning committee. This visioning committee is probably one of the most important changes that we are going to make together in the history of the people of Portland. What we're going to do is we're going to define how the Portland Police approaches law enforcement in the city of Portland. We're going to define how we're going to hold Portland police officers accountable for wrongdoing and how we are going to support them. On January 1st, 2016, we started the year with 855 police officers. Of those 855 police officers, approximately 90 had already put in their papers for retirement. If this trend continues, and we're expecting it to continue, we could have 400 fewer police officers on the Portland Police Force 4 years from now. Now, that's frightening, but it's also an opportunity because the police officers that are left over makes up the youngest population of Portland police officers we've had since World War II. In my opinion, it would be irresponsible for us not to take this opportunity to make the changes that reflect the way that we view our community. If you need any more information about the Portland Police Visioning Committee, please go to fredstewart.com. You will find an article there I posted detailing how I feel we should approach developing this committee and why we should do it. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section and let everybody know how you feel about it and how you feel we should approach revitalizing and reculturing our law enforcement. So friends, if you're tired of the backroom deals, the unnecessary taxes, and the decisions being made that do not reflect our shared values, vote Fred instead. Vote for Fred for Portland City Council, position 4.